A well-behaved woman is trim and proper. Chores always done, not a hair out of place. When the husband comes home, she greets him with a smile.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Are you tired of Hitler?
I feel no shame.
Okay, one liar as a kid can find another liar.
I want that stricken from the record.
How else is she gonna learn if she doesn't have a feather?
I could go fuck in the big house.
You're a mess, girl.
I am here to audition for Babysitters Club extras. I brought my own hammer. Excuse me. Zombie.
This
It
is
happens.
what we exist with.
This
The
is-
rotting
Yeah.
zombie burps are just real bad.
Yeah, why do you invite me back?
Speaking of zombies, I just listened to the last podcast episode on necrophilia. I've never laughed so hard in my life. I snort laughed and I thought I was about to run off the road. Oh my God.
What podcast was it?
Last podcast on the left.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Holy fuck. And a little shout out. We're going to do a little review on our episode that we came before this. This chick's mom was a necrophiliac.
Wait, what?
She was a romantic necrophiliac.
Hannah's mom?
No.
Dude.
No. The subject of today's episode, or her mom was a necrophiliac for sure. Anyway. Welcome to Well Behaved Women.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Well Behaved Women. I'm your host, B. Joined again, as always, my beautiful co-hosts, Hannah, Zombie Hannah Moses, and our resident historian, archaeologist, and altogether storyteller, Lauren, Miss Lauren Chill.
What's up? Hi, guys.
Hi.
We're back together again after a few weeks.
Woo!
Here to tell another story around the campfire.
Mm-hmm.
What did we learn about today, Lauren?
So, when last we left, our subject...
Previously on
Christina the Abdication Queen.
Exactly. Thank you for going with that.
What?
The way you said it reminded me of like
a
Days
TV
of Our
show.
Lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Like sand through the hourglass of time. These are the days of our lives.
That's exactly what I was going for, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks to my mom for fucking taping that shit every week when we were kids. Don't touch the VCR.
We called her a helper. In Bolivia, her name was Yola, and she would like fold laundry, and she had her own little like area that was just hers, and she would just watch her Bolivian soaps like all fucking day while she did her own little chores, and there was just always some sort of drama going on in the background.
I'd rather have the
That's how she got through the day. That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's how I was always like, I'll just get through this paper. I got to write this paper, but I'll at least put Lost on in the background.
But I'll put on a show.
God.
I'll put on a show that I've already seen, so I can have it.
Yeah,
as
it's
a
comfort.
It's comfort. It's familiar, and I know what's coming, so I don't actually ever need to see the screen. I got it in my brain.
Have you
and I
ever
can
watched
focus on
I've been doing
Lost?
that for years.
Yeah,
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What'd you think
It's
of
not
it?
for me.
No?
I liked it.
You liked it? I liked it.
It took me a while though because I didn't even watch it until the show was completely done.
Oh, same. I didn't watch it
I
till it
wasn't
was on
really big on
Netflix.
network dramas, like, period.
I
So
thought
that's
they
not really
did
my
a
bag.
very whole like overt kind of like a Christian themes at the very end.
Oh, for sure.
So I thought
John
that was
Locke
a weird
was
little
absolutely-
play. Yeah, that was a weird little ploy at the end, which I
Yeah.
wasn't super on board with.
They had to
But
tie
the
it all
show
together.
Show itself was pretty good.
The first 2 seasons, solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
Solid.
The few network dramas that I've watched are like Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad.
Good.
Breaking Bad is a masterpiece from beginning to end.
Hey,
Oh, I totally agree.
What about that third
But I
season
also
in the
waited
middle?
until they were on Netflix to just binge them all.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to stop watching Breaking Bad in season 3 because it just I know it's supposed to get better afterwards, but I just lost interest.
Is season 3 the season
the divorce?
Okay, I think that's also the season where the meth heads smash each other's heads with the ATM.
Spoiler.
Could be.
Yeah, so I had to take a pause for like 3 months after that scene, and then when I saw Danny Trejo's head, I was like, I'm out. So that lasted another 5 months, and then I was like, you know what? I gotta know.
You gotta finish.
I gots to know. Yeah,
I gots to know.
and I just barely finished Better Call Saul. And holy shit,
Another
was that
great
good.
show.
That's
Another
the one my mom
Wild
got on
that it
board
went for
with.
more
show.
seasons than the original show. Like, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it did.
It
My
was,
mom was in it.
Just masterpiece from beginning to end.
Yeah,
Wait,
but-
your mom was in
No,
it?
I meant to say into it. I
Oh.
was just about to correct myself.
like-
She was into it. She was not into Breaking Bad.
What
She
else
couldn't
is she
handle
into?
it. I don't know. What do you mean?
Never mind.
All right.
Let's get into our tale for the day. Can I get a
My mom's getting a lot of flack today.
Terry 2?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I wouldn't call it.
Going after
Whatever.
her.
Never mind. We're moving on. On this year in history.
The Treaty of Pereyaslav is signed during a meeting between Zaporozhian hosts and Tsar Alexei I of Russia.
Come again?
Let's see. Jews show up in New Amsterdam. Otto von Guericke uses the Magdeburg hemispheres to demonstrate the power of atmospheric pressure and vacuums to Ferdinand III and his imperial diet, a council for Holy Roman Emperor.
All right. New Amsterdam is supposed to be a good clue right there. I'm going to go.
I blacked out. Read the first clue again.
The Treaty of Pereyaslav is signed during a meeting between Zaporozhian hosts and Tsar Alexei I of Russia.
Okay. Hit me with clue 2.
Jews show up in New Amsterdam.
Jesus. um.
You want the last one?
Mm-hmm.
Otto von Guericke uses the Magdeburg hemispheres to demonstrate the power of atmospheric pressure and vacuums to Ferdinand III and his imperial diet, a council for Holy Roman Emperor.
Double checking. So the thing he's talking about, is that really cool thing in water with the different bubbles? I fucking love those things. I like that guy. Just going to say it. I like that guy.
We found it. She's a fan.
I'm a fan.
Fan club.
Fan.
Otto
All right.
von Guericke fan club.
I'm going to venture a guess. 1695.
Yeah, I was thinking the 1600s as well.
Hold on. There's a whole plane. What the fuck?
Fuck
is going
you
on?
guys. How dare you fly
I mean,
today?
You know,
Dare air traffic.
They know we work on Wednesdays.
Denver and all.
We got to get in with the lizard people at DIA.
I'm gonna say like 1610.
He's going beginning of the decade. I'm going end of the decade. Or
You mean
decade.
century?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
what I meant. Keep me humble
No, so B gets it
because I went over.
because you went over.
Damn, how close though was I?
By a lot. So it's 1654.
Oh,
I was gonna originally say 1650.
Yep.
okay, never mind.
And Christina of Sweden has just abdicated her throne.
Aha.
Yes.
On what grounds again?
So stress and sickness and deciding she wanted to be a Catholic in a Protestant world. She's a Catholic girl in a Protestant world.
I mean, you basically just described all of Ireland.
I'm a Catholic girl in a Protestant world. And
I mean, that was literally the entire fight for independence for Ireland.
Because we are living in a Protestant world.
Oh, Protestant.
And we
are
are
all the
Catholic girls.
Yeah, literally.
I feel like we need a playlist that we'll put out on podcast. Maybe somebody can do something with the audio.
Fuck. All right, yeah, so it's 1654. When we left...
Blah, 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 blah.
When we last left, Christina, as she's riding away on horseback, she's looking back at Sweden and then turning forward in her saddle, and her eyes are in the horizon in front of her, representing all that hope and changes and religious transitions and shit.
Bye, bitch.
Bye, bitch.
Bye, bitch. Whoa. I was not prepared for that laugh.
What?
I don't know. Oh.
I can do a laugh.
No, I'm not saying you
I
can't.
can do a fucking laugh.
I'm not telling you what you can and can't do. I've just never heard it before.
So we last left Christina. She had cut and run with all the assets of the castle, having sent
fuck.
away all her art, books, sculptures, etc.
Oh, she
And
just dipped out.
she
and took,
dipped.
And she took shit. She's
Remember,
just like,
she had shipped it off before she took.
I would love
before
to
she gave up
know
the throne.
if anybody like would walk by and she's like doing an itinerary, just like, all right, inventory, checking in, and they're just like, what are you doing? She was like,
Nothing.
Nothing, narc.
you sure? What's that paper?
Mind your business.
I'm still.
Who are you,
queen,
sir?
Fuck off.
Sir, I know you, but who are you? Do you
Don't
belong in
worry
the?
about who I am.
Do you belong here?
I am the
He's
knight.
my manservant.
You're-
Henry.
Is he like on the payroll?
He's taking an inventory for me.
Keep
You
asking
just
questions.
can mind your fucking business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bye, bitch.
Damn, what's
You're
in
gonna
her?
get, you're gonna get the axe.
Anyway,
Why does he
so
have
it's
an
going to be this
axe?
one, this guy over here, and both of those pieces over there, they've got to have special crates made for them.
Should I tell someone?
And this one's got to go next week, or we're not going to be able to get it done. Just, we can't take it over the winter. Yeah. Can I help you? Why are you still here?
I'm not. I'm over here in the hallway, just dusting.
You're
I'm
listening to shit.
No, I'm
Go
dusting.
away.
I'm just dusting.
Anyway, the vase that she's dusting, that's going to need to go too.
Ah, shit.
That grand piano down the hallway.
We taking it all.
Do you want me to put that in a to-go box or?
Don't worry about it. Don't touch it.
The to-go box is the crate. All right, so remember that she spent so much money to build all of these assets, right? And so she leaves, she takes all this shit with her, and since she had spent so much of the country's money on all of this shit, basically she
She's
left
just
the
taking.
country broke as fuck. She was like, all of your assets are now my assets. Toodles.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Piss off.
Yeah, so the Swedish treasury was severely depleted and again on the brink of war.
Did her
Their
family?
neighboring countries.
What did anybody try to get it back from her?
What?
What did the country do after she left them
They were
broke?
like, all right, we've got another king. Charles is in charge.
Guess
Charles
that's
in
that
charge?
Yes, Charles was in charge.
then. Charles in charge.
So she leaves with the help of a Spanish diplomat named Bernardino de Rebolledo.
Was she
Oh,
how well acquainted with this man? Was
doesn't
she?
matter. She's got riches.
She was friends with him. She had because she like wrote day and fucking night to all of her pen pals. She knew like everyone who was anyone, especially in a diplomatic sense. She had long friendships with these people because she'd been writing to them for years. So it was pretty easy to like get someone to support her to help her get through these countries.
Right.
She dressed like a man and she rode through Denmark in a disguise.
All right. I remember this now.
Right. So, from Google Maps, and for anyone out there better than I am at Northern European geography, Sweden is one of 4 nations on that little hook that comes down and just kisses Denmark. Kind of makes a little C. So, it goes down through this nation, and she's given it up, and she kind of threw it in the trash. So, she has to ride through Sweden.
All the way through?
No longer is their queen. All the way from Stockholm on the east coast over to Denmark on the west
rich
coast
as
in
fuck.
Copenhagen. Yeah. Rich as fuck, but not traveling with any of it. She's
Well,
Yeah.
you can't.
so she gets to Copenhagen and then she's like really in bad territory because Denmark and Sweden had this weird rivalry. So she's
No, they don't like each other.
Yeah, so she's extra man
bad.
riding through there, and then she gets to Germany, and she's still dressed like a man. Yeah, she had to leave the whole ass country, which is fucking great. So they ride through Denmark, they stop off in the Netherlands, and they settle in Antwerp, which is in Brussels, or Belgium.
In Antwerp.
Antwerp in Belgium. And
Oh, yes, in
Antwerp was where all of her art and crap had been sent earlier.
Naturally.
Yes.
All the money
Duh.
on foreign shores.
During her travels, she stayed with friendly nobility, arranged for Charles to have a bride of one of these hosts, and when she got to Antwerp, she stuck around for a while. At first, she lived with a Jewish merchant in his mansion,
Must be nice.
and it was a party life.
Hell
Banging her way
yeah.
around
Okay.
Europe. I love it.
Okay.
She
tell
wasn't
me
banging,
more.
she was just partying every fucking night. They had
She
a play,
stayed
or
with
an
him.
orchestral
You think
ballet.
she's not banging? Oh, she's
yeah,
not
that's
even
fair.
the queen anymore. Who cares?
You know what? Who fucking cares? She was probably banging her way.
Tell me
through
more
it.
about these
Freedom.
parties. How
So
cool.
there were, it would be orchestra one night, play another night, the big ball or dance or something.
I don't know what kind of drugs we were doing in 1654.
Yeah, what kind of drugs were there?
Probably
Opium.
licking toads or some shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah, they had cocaine, yeah?
I mean,
No.
it was like
Opium.
No,
opium.
in-
Opium.
Yeah.
Opium they had, yeah.
Hemp.
So probably a lot of that. A lot
I
of
would've
wine.
a lot of
Probably
wine.
ales, beers, meads, stuff like that too.
Yeah, they probably
Nicotine
all
of
smoked
some
weed.
Yeah,
Yeah, tobacco for sure.
For
Cigars.
sure, yeah.
a lot of. That's what a night.
Ugh,
And a
sounds
lot of
fucking
drinking.
awesome.
I remember those.
Fucking ragers, yo.
Yeah, they sound like ragers.
Right.
I think they're all
So-
chain smoking cigars outside. They're just like.
Outside, inside, all day.
Inside.
I guess I forget. Yeah, they didn't have no smoking
Fucking
rooms.
animals.
You got like
They were
5
fucking
cigars in your pocket you're working
They
through.
didn't
for
have
the
indoor
rage.
plumbing.
True.
Everything was, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh yeah, I heard Versailles at this time was nasty,
Yeah.
everywhere was nasty.
but Versailles was extra
And
nasty.
Have you ever actually
Musty.
seen like restoration work on old paintings and stuff?
Yeah, it's all yellow rings because people smoked in the rooms in front of the paintings.
Literally,
Oh, wow.
it's from tobacco ash and smoke that has coated on
Always.
over the years.
Every time.
Man,
It's disgusting.
maybe I should get into art restoration.
It
Like
Almost-
TikToks and stuff.
It takes like
I considered it for a
17
while. Yeah.
years.
I'm talking
to
about
get
on
through
TikTok, sorry.
perfectly, like to get through this type of system. I would have to have my degree, and then I'd have to go on to get a conservator degree, which is like another 7 years of school.
Yeah.
and I'd have to have a 4-year apprenticeship.
I was talking about on TikTok, like watching videos. I have to get into that. I want to watch videos.
Like, you don't know how much work that is.
Yeah, I wasn't
okay?
talking about like
No,
let me
I'm
just
thinking,
casually
like,
change careers.
No, I just want to watch a video on it. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to
That's
get
it.
into the like rabbit hole of when you watch like a bunch of videos and it's like very
I
oddly
got you.
satisfying. I lost everybody in the room when I said that.
No, you didn't. But what Lauren said is the exact reason why I didn't do it. Because I started out as a design major, and then I really considered doing art restoration, and then realized that you have to do
Yeah.
like 30 years of school. And I was like, what the fuck? No.
I took a couple conservation classes in my master's program, and I loved them. I had
Yeah.
so much fun with them.
I just
but
love
it
art
takes
history.
Yes, it just
Yeah,
takes
art
a lot
history
of
is
work.
very fascinating.
It's a lot of slow work, and there's very little funding out there for this kind of shit because
Anymore, because no one gives a fuck.
exactly,
Yeah.
or they've got enough art. They've got enough of them. And they're still alive because this is a fairly recent field. So all the people that are ever going to have funding are people that have the jobs right now.
Yeah. It's a rough
People
world
are
out
living
there
longer,
for
so
any
you just work till you
industry.
die.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. Pretty soon, and to no one's surprise, Christina's funds ran out. So she started to sell some of those things that
Oh.
she had shipped off.
Well, yeah, when you blow all through all the money.
But no, that's why she took it all, though. Like that, those are her assets. Like
I mean, no,
that's-
I know.
That's why you take it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that was her life
Now
savings.
she's an art dealer.
Yes. And that thus was born the first art dealer.
Excellent.
Just kidding. No, that's not it. They were dealing art way before this.
collection.
Yeah. She actually had paintings of like all of her very dear friends,
Cool.
portraits and shit, and those were the ones that she ended up keeping like forever.
Yeah, the commissioned
Aw,
ones,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sentimental value.
So she was still getting an alimony from Sweden, and of course there was the money.
they were paying her alimony after
To
she
not be the queen.
bankrupted
and
them?
not just that, but she's also got all of the money coming in from a number of islands.
But they
And-
basically said, "Hey, fuck off, and we'll just give you a little cheese."
Oh, they paid her to
Yeah.
retire?
Yeah.
yeah.
Or
It
to
was like
abdicate?
it was her like royal entitlement if she abdicated, I think.
Ah, good
With
deal.
the
Just fuck
islands and
off and
stuff,
we'll
since
pay
she
you.
just outright owned them,
Yeah.
like that the
Severance.
taxes.
You're running this place into the
Came
ground.
into her.
Just go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Keep you alive, but like, get out. Just leave.
Art doesn't win wars, bitch.
Fuck.
I'm just kidding. I love art.
Well, but that was still a lot considering Sweden was still on the brink of fucking war. Yeah, yeah. So obviously this also didn't work to deal out all of her debts and shit. So when that didn't work, the Archduke of Austria, Leopold Wilhelm, invited her to live with him. He was like, all right, you can come
I'll
live in
give
my
you a
mansion.
life raft.
Everyone's having
Yeah.
a turn.
Yep.
Jesus.
God.
This was cool with her, so she moved in, and 6 months after leaving Sweden, Christina got baptized into the Catholic Church.
Catholic faith.
Catholic faith.
They're Catholic and all right.
She went for full Cath.
Full Cath. Full Kathy.
It was Christmas Eve, the best time for a baptism.
Yay,
obviously.
it's freezing outside.
Jesus' birthday.
Her name became Christina Augusta.
Oh, of course.
This is done very quiet.
How fucking Roman of her. Jesus.
Well, yeah, Christina.
But Augusta as well.
Her name was
Oh, yeah.
already Christina. She
Holier
didn't
than
change
thou.
that.
Jesus.
Yeah,
H.
I know. But she's just,
She's got
just
a
saying.
complex.
She was a fucking queen, and now she's not. You'd think there's still a little bit of entitlement there.
But you went from being queen to being God. That's not... Like, Jesus H. The delusion.
It gets better. Just
Hit
you
me.
wait.
Love me a little delusion, not gonna lie. In a story.
So this baptism is done quietly, and there's no news or anything sent to Sweden about her recent conversion, because
Don't
if the
tell
court
them.
found out, that alimony would go away, and
Yeah.
then she'd have nothing.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is on the low key.
In another effort to try and control some of these debts, she had given her money to a banker who sent her an allowance at that point. He was her
Okay.
money manager from then on.
Okay.
All of the
She has a
art
financial
now belonged
advisor.
to him. All of the music and the fucking clothes and whatever the wealth that she had, that it was all now his. And it was on permanent loan to her, basically. And then he would send her so much money.
How much did she trust this person?
Enough to give him all
yeah.
of her funds.
More than she
Are we
trusts
sure he was
herself,
worthy?
honestly.
Yeah, that makes sense. She is not proven to be very
He
good
was
with
a
money.
he was a fairly famous money manager
Okay,
already.
okay.
Like he managed
That's what
other
they all say.
important people's
Okay,
money.
so he had credentials.
Right.
We like it. All right, so she gave it to somebody who is going to rein her in a bit.
Give her just a certain amount of money.
Okay.
So she's a Catholic ex-queen now.
Okay.
Now what?
Party?
She goes to Italy.
Party!
Naturally. To meet the Pope.
We gonna party, Wayne?
She's gonna
Meet the Pope.
fucking meet the Pope.
Party on?
So she doesn't have enough money to fund all that. So she secures a loan.
Wow.
The Vatican?
What did she tell
A loan
them?
a loan to Rome.
What did she tell them?
She only needed
Hello, Rome.
she only needed enough money to cover what she actually needed to get to Rome with her, okay?
Okay.
That was it.
What was she planning on doing? What's there?
In September of 1655, she and 255 other people, along with 247 horses, set out for Rome.
The first Great Migration. Jesus Christ.
It's like a whole village.
Bare bones, only the necessities.
I just need my
Yes,
nearest
only my necessities.
dearest.
Hey, don't forget the donkeys.
That's not counting the chickens or anything like that.
No, she probably brought goats,
No wonder
horses.
she needed a loan to get to Rome. She was moving the whole fucking town.
Yeah, she had to feed them all.
On her travels to Rome, she was still received and thrown elaborate parties throughout
This
her
is very
Oofda.
like
travels.
Mother of Dragons.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's incredibly Mother
She
of
has
Dragons.
her Khalasar.
Yes.
She's fucking losing
She has
it,
her
too.
fucking Khalasar.
She's an ex-queen.
Yes.
Dragging these people across foreign lands.
Yeah. With all this stuff.
Oh, psychotic.
Man, times were weird.
When she arrived at
What
Innsbruck,
happens when nobody can read?
When she arrived at Innsbruck on November 3rd and she was in safe territory, then she announced her conversion and wrote to Swedish government of her own of her conversion to
Once she
Cathal.
was there.
No, when she was like safely 7 countries. I think she was in Liechtenstein at this point.
Ooh,
but she like
yeah.
wrote home and she was like, "All right, guess
So
what?"
guys, I did a thing.
Yeah.
Mommy,
Christina
Daddy,
Augusta.
I'm never coming home.
Mummy, Axel, Oxenstiern.
Please
Oh, yeah,
still
the
send
Oxenfree.
money.
Yeah.
Please still send money.
Yeah,
What?
please still send money.
Is she still gonna? So is she still asking
Yes, she's
for?
still asking for
Hell
money,
yeah,
for
I
sure.
knew it.
Once in Austria, she was thrown a 5-day affair, and by the time she left on November 8th, one Archduke of Austria, Ferdinand Charles, was damn near bankrupted by her visit.
Does anybody else write out like, all right, we need to put her on a blacklist? Like she's not allowed to
No,
stay.
they're like happy to have her. She was Queen of Sweden.
Okay.
She's educated. She
She's not the Queen of Sweden, though.
She speaks like 7 languages.
Yeah,
six
but like,
languages
is that
or
worth
something.
bankrupting your home?
She is a pleasant person to be around. She's just a wonderful person
Let's
to be
go
around.
out to
Yes, I'm sure
eat.
that's
Let's
all
go
that it is.
get a
Yeah, I'm
hotel.
sure.
Get a hotel then. Stay somewhere else.
A 5-day party that
Fucking-
bankrupted.
Oh
with you?
yeah, remember her coronation was a 3-day rager. You would imagine that her tour of Europe, now that she's not queen and has all the money.
What does a 225 person stash of opium look like?
An entire
Wow.
fucking carriage.
Oh God. Can the person driving that carriage even like see straight?
Casks on barrels of wine. Just fucking.
Yeah. Fun fact about a barrel of wine.
Oh God.
Why do you say "oh God"?
Because I'm about to feel bad about myself.
No. This is a fun fact from when I got to go to Germany with my parents once. So Terry 1 was working, and Terry 2 and I decided we were going to tag along, and part of that was a stay in Frankfurt, but we were bored. So my mom was like, okay, we're going to go to Heidelberg, which wasn't too far away. And they have a big castle, and you learn a lot about it. We did a tour, walked around, got to see like the crazy cool artifacts and art and all the murals on the wall. But the best part is that they tell the history about him and I guess the person who was in charge. I don't know if it was a duke or whatever the German nobility looks like, but the nobleman there got into basically a pissing contest with some other noble in Germany or some other place where they had a contest of who had a bigger cask of wine. And so then they just kept making huge barrels. So finally, we got to see the biggest one, which was like, it was like the size of like a 2-story garage.
Damn.
And we got to walk around on top of it.
Holy fuck.
And yeah, that was hilarious that he got into a barrel of wine pissing contest.
I love it.
When you have so much
Everyone
money,
wins in barrel of wine pissing contests.
everybody gets pissed. Ha!
Just dunk your head in the pool of wine and drink
that reminds
for as long
me
as you
of
can hold your
Strange
breath.
Brew. Have you ever seen that one?
Maybe.
It's what's the guy's Rick Moranis as a Canadian who drinks a lot, and then he goes to like a brewery
I think
and they
so.
get super drunk in the tank of
Yeah.
ale.
Oh, I know a reference they made to that on Family Guy.
It's been a minute since I saw the movie, and I saw it on TV.
What's it called
Take
again?
off, hoser.
What's
Yeah,
it
that
called
guy.
again?
Strange Brew.
Okay, I'm gonna have to hear about that. All I'm gonna tell you is that people with a lot of money do weird shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh. Mm-hmm. History has told us this tons of times.
Do something strange for a little bit of change.
The procession rolled into Rome mid-December, and she literally rolled in on a bespoke couch made by Bernini himself.
Ooh, a bespoke couch?
Bespoke.
What is
like,
that?
Made to fit
for
her
her
ass.
ass and her ass alone.
So like what? He got a mold of her ass
I
and
mean,
like
probably.
I guess according to her
Hilarious.
fucking measurements or something.
I
It was like
guess.
a big deal.
I mean,
Wow.
Okay.
yeah, but also consider that at this time, couches were made with fucking straw.
The
So, like,
Vatican planned her entry into the
keep
city.
Your fucking fancy couch.
Yeah. The day after she showed up, she met the famous couchmaker Gian Lorenzo Bernini, and they clicked, so they were to remain friends forever.
friends, besties. Oh my god. Same mind.
Same.
Same.
Oh, twinsies.
Oh my god, you made a bespoke couch of my ass. I'm just so flattered.
Girl,
my God.
anytime. You got it.
Thank you,
Yes.
Bernie.
Yes.
Bernini.
I got you, girl.
Wonder if
I
she
got
called-
your ass, girl.
You too.
I got it.
You supported it. Ugh, you're the best.
Yes.
Okay, let's go see the
So
Pope.
here's the Vatican. This is I designed all of this. See these things up here? Yeah,
Yeah?
I designed that. And this
Ooh.
courtyard right here, I designed that. And I did that. I did that sculpture, that
Oh my
fountain. That's
God.
me.
Have you met
And
the
then-
Pope?
Oh, the Pope and I are other besties, so we're gonna have a little bestie circle. Okay.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And
Here's
then
the
we're going to get
Pope.
trashed, right?
Hi, Pope.
No? Okay, he doesn't want to be the Pope. Is he okay?
Oh, he's fine.
is the
I'm just
Pope
not-
okay?
I don't want to be the Pope.
No? Okay. So,
Pass.
have you really met the Pope then? Doesn't look like he's the Pope. Did you just lie to me, bestie?
You know, I'm normally a yes and guy. And it ain't the one.
So you kind of caught me in a lie. I'm not actually Gian Lorenzo Bernini. I just am someone that works
Then why
here.
did I let you
So
touch my ass?
I've been walking you around. I'm a total stranger. He has no idea who I am. Funny. Funny.
I let you touch my ass.
Yes, yeah, you did.
Okay, then.
That wasn't the Pope. It was a goat.
You just called him a goat. This is clearly a man. Stop lying.
I have issues with my eyesight. Okay.
B is not having it. Anyway, all right. We're back.
All right. Anyway, so they become besties, and in the 1600s, as you know, was not a time of friendship bracelets, but friendship couches to put their asses in.
As long as it's actually your bestie.
The very next day, she was received by the Pope.
Ah, there we go. Now she gets to meet the Pope.
It was the Pope.
The Pope!
She was conducted to the Vatican Basilica, where the Pope gave her confirmation. It was then that she received from the Pope her second name of Alexandra, the feminine form of his own.
Wow.
This motherfucker handed her a key to the Vatican, and she was gifted an entire wing while she was there.
She's going to bankrupt the Vatican.
She lives in the Vatican.
I thought you were going to say she's going to bang the Pope.
I mean...
She's banging the Pope.
That would be
Just
one
kidding.
bad Pope.
Nope. That's not it.
There are a few popes, though, that have absolutely not been good popes and have definitely banged around.
I think for her, there was definitely an element more of like, I get more out of the fantasy of that which I cannot attain.
I'm named after the
Because she
Pope.
has a lot of like pen pals that she's very like adoring to, and she never has a record of like fucking around with them. But then again, we had her handmaiden who she was fucking. So
yeah, like
I'm not a reliable witness on that.
She's rich enough. She's definitely rich enough that she could keep things quiet. We don't know.
Her bestie, Gian Lorenzo, he decorated it for her.
Of course he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. This was in the midst of an era called the Renaissance. And in the middle of that, it was called the Baroque period.
Baroque, because she's leaving everyone Baroque.
I literally
Did you write that?
I said, and it's called that because you go Baroque, try and pay for it all.
Yeah, I know.
Love it.
It all works out.
So it's a French word, possibly stemming from the Portuguese barroco, which means flawed pearl. Though it started as an expression among scholars, it quickly gained traction outside of academia to describe anything, quote, bizarre and uselessly complicated.
Fun. Oh, wait. Is this like they're on... Okay, I recently saw on TikTok, because I'm a lurker on TikTok, but there was like... Somebody had made this needlessly complicated mechanical swan that was huge and so ornately decorated, and it to this day still works when you turn it on. But it's just a decorative thing, but it's huge. It's like half the size of that bed area back there. And about as tall. Anyway, sorry. I figured that sounds like the Baroque period to me.
A little bit. It's more like that ornate decorations with the waves and like the, you get all this detail and you've got people kind of falling into each other in a very romantic way.
Think about like when you see a piece of art or a sculpture and you literally can't fathom the amount of time it would take to complete the project.
It's so fucking ornate. Like the sculptures in a lot of Rome are Bernini.
Okay, I'm looking up Baroque artwork, yeah. So the girl with the pearl earrings.
A version of Baroque. And pretty much anything fancier than that.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of... Whoa, bitch.
There should be a French piece where there's a girl in a big ass gown riding a swing and a man is pushing her behind.
Just saw that pop up on TikTok.
It's that one's called Rococo, which is very romantic, but that's a type of Baroque.
Did I send that to you guys in a TikTok? Because I sent that to somebody I knew. But I saw somebody break that down, but it was he did it in a very funny way.
Yeah. So it
'Cause
was
it's TikTok.
complicated and uselessly.
Yeah.
It was uselessly complicated and bizarre, which I
so
fucking love.
beautiful.
Very
It's
beautiful.
so fucking beautiful. And no one at no time did Baroque quite like the Italians in the 17th century.
This is true.
And no Italian did Baroque quite like Gian Lorenzo Bernini, who literally designed St. Peter's Basilica and carved most of the sculptures in the
I
Vatican.
mean, Rome is the home of the Renaissance.
Yes, he was truly a fucking Renaissance man.
Yeah.
He was a sculptor, an architect, a painter, and even he built fountains and bridges.
Okay. This can be cut out of the podcast if you want, but I just want to show you the swan, if it's okay.
Yes.
Are you sure it's okay?
I wanna
I'm
see it.
sorry.
I
wanna
Okay,
see
okay.
it.
The description doesn't mean dick without the picture.
I
Yeah.
know. I need to show it to you. Okay. So let me see. Bose Museum. So this is all mechanical. No electronics, no nothing. All just mechanics.
When was this built?
Oh. Can you read it?
18th century.
Oh,
Okay.
so not this time period.
Yeah. So,
100 years later.
100
Yeah.
years later.
Not that far off.
Not far
Yeah.
off.
Interesting.
It is like beautiful. And it does chimes.
Well, it's like a music box.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
I didn't
very
make that
cool.
connection.
Okay. I don't recognize the tune, but that's pretty neat.
It's really cool.
Catches a fish and swallows it. I love
Yeah.
that.
It's so
Fucking
cool.
beautiful. Wow.
And I forget what it's made out of.
It said it's made out of pure silver.
Oh, pure silver. Holy shit.
And then glass rocks.
Ah.
Rods.
Rods.
Yeah.
Glass rods.
Anyway, so yeah, thank you for looking at that. That
gorgeous.
It blew my mind when I saw it.
It's insane stuff like that. Like when you think about like
So
the
much time.
kind of inventions that like Da Vinci came up with during this time, like
Yeah.
it's so insane.
NPR just did a whole thing about his inventions where they're just like,
It's one of my favorite
Yeah.
Futurama episodes too. When they go to
So
Da Vinci
fun.
World,
Yeah.
and he's the idiot there. It's a
Yeah.
classic.
I love that one.
No, that's great. I really wanted you to get a sense of like how fucking needlessly complicated.
Yeah.
And oversaturated.
So detailed.
With needless decadence.
Oh yeah.
This was all like the Vatican was well into it by the time Christina showed up. So they were primed and ready for someone
Everything's
to come in and be
fucking
like, "Let's
gilded
party, bitch."
and marbled and everything
Yeah.
else already.
The next few months were just a never-ending party.
Months.
Fireworks, jousts, plays, operas, mock
Jousts.
duels, acrobats. If it was fun and entertaining, it was happening.
So yeah, you wanted to be there.
Be there or be
square. Yeah.
Converted the Queen of Sweden. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
She's basically just a party girl celebrity.
Yes.
of us.
She's an
of us.
Gooble gobble, gooble gobble. Nobles vied for her attentions, countless dinners and parties, and honestly, it just sounds like a fucking Catholic approved 4-month rager.
Jesus Christ.
Fun.
Everyone's inviting her to dinner. Everyone's inviting her to the plays. Everyone's bringing stuff to her. She was in the fucking Vatican. They can just bring her performances.
Does it tell you when they canonized her?
He laughs. But
No, I'm asking for real. Are you going to tell us when they canonized her and made her Saint Christina?
I'd love to
we'll
know
get there.
how.
Okay.
We'll get there. Yeah. Anyway, so even the mansion she was given to live in for the time she was in Rome is a building now thought to be one of the most important Renaissance homes in history, as this was the mansion where Baroque art style was most likely born by Annibale Carracci, who is thought to start the Baroque era. Carracci. And she had moved there, she moved there after, so she stayed at the Vatican for a little while,
For a couple
and
months,
then
yeah.
they moved her to another mansion that was like,
Okay.
here's another one.
You
But
can wreck this place.
literally
Can't
where Baroque was
disrespect her.
born.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, I got you,
I'll
because it
live
had like
there.
a stage, it had like an auditorium in there. Fucking great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The back then version of a home theater. News.
And news.
Breaking news.
Elsewhere in Catholic news,
Whoa.
ooh,
Catholic news.
Meanwhile, at the Vatican.
the Pope that received Christina had died.
Uh-oh.
He did. By the time Christina showed up to Rome, she had been involved in correspondence from a number of cardinals and Catholics in Rome at that time. And there was a very small group of quote-unquote free-thinking cardinals called the Squadrone Volante,
Radicalists.
which in short wanted to get rid of the papacy of the nepotistic practices that had been going on for way too long.
I see.
How'd that work out for them?
The leader of that group, Decio Azzolino, was basically the public rep for Christina. I don't ask
She had
how,
PR.
I don't know. She had PR. He was
it.
friends with her for a long time, and they wrote letters, and basically he
You
was just
speak
like,
for me
yeah,
now."
I'm your spokesperson.
Yep.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yep. So in 1655, when Pope died, they needed to elect a new one, and Pietro Ottoboni, another cardinal, stated, quote, "This time we must seek an honest man," and pointed at a fellow cardinal, Fabio Chigi, who won the election.
Okay.
Fabio.
This is a side piece. We'll get back to it.
Okay.
After that, this Squadrone Volante spent the next 15 years working within the cardinal organization and interacting in European politics, gaining trust and building rapport with different leaders.
Secret Catholic society.
We're going to leave it there for a moment.
Okay.
But we'll come back. Just know in the meantime, this is happening in the background.
Okay.
While she's in the mansion.
Yeah. So Christina's in her mansion in Rome, and she opens it up every Wednesday for guests and friends to stop by. She opens this academy called the Academy of Arcadia, where people could come in and study and enjoy music, theater, and literature. And obviously art, like a lot of
It's
art.
like the first community
Theater
college.
kids loved it.
Yes. So she's very friendly with people. She's super comfortable chatting and flirting with men,
Always.
right? So she's entertaining anyone who wants to be entertained, Catholic or not.
Excellent.
And at this point, Italy didn't look how it does now. The top half of the boot was called the Papal States, and then the bottom half and the foot was the Kingdom of Naples.
Ooh, fun place.
Napoli. And at this point, Spain had been ruling the kingdom, but the residents wanted their own rule
Ah.
For the drugs.
for the cars.
So they could get trucks.
So they tried to rebel, and then that didn't work, and so now France wants a piece of the pie. It's like a whole mess.
Yeah.
Christina sees this as an opportunity. She
Oh,
decides...
of course she did.
She decides she's going to be the mediator between these two countries.
Hello, France.
France and Spain.
Hi, friends.
Hi, France. Hi, Spain.
Hey.
I'm here to help.
Fast forward, there's an orgy at the mansion, everyone's happy, and Italy gets its independence.
All right, let's see if B calls it. Let's go. How'd it go?
Hit me!
International relations, indeed.
Thank you.
Yes, that is very, very literal.
Very diplomatic of me.
Yeah, I love it. Let's bang this out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, as the mediator, she'll march French troops into Naples, and she'll rule as their queen until she died. And then she would give the
Sorry.
land and the crown back to France once she was gone.
Okay, hold on. How did she? I want to know how the negotiations went.
Look, just let me be queen for like a little bit.
I was
And then
already
when I'm
queen.
gone-
Until I die.
Let me just warm them up
gonna
for
live
you.
I
forever.
don't have any children. You can have it right back.
Literally,
You can have
that
it
was
right
one of
back.
that was one of her arguments. Was I don't have any kids. I'm
sure,
not
there's no
gonna have
heir.
any
Yeah,
kids.
right.
Yeah.
Like why not let me rule for? A
You
few
won't even
years?
notice we're gone.
You won't even notice it. Time will fly right
I'll even
by.
leave you the keys. It's fine. It'll be okay.
It's like we're roommates, but I call the shots
just
until I
give me-
die.
Just give me the country for a few
We'll be
years.
right back.
Oh, God. How did she do this? How did she convince them?
Well, things weren't really as simple as writing a letter and waiting for it to be delivered, and then waiting for another few weeks for a response as they write it out and get sent all the way back.
Imagine she writes this huge letter and then just right back. Okay.
She's just sitting there waiting. Do, 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 do.
It said, sounds good.
Seasons change.
She's like
the
making a
dates
to-do
fly
list.
off the calendar. Yeah.
Got her calendar out.
Yeah.
Learning her word of the day.
One day the carrier pigeon returned.
Ooh.
So it's a whole fucking shit show of communication breakdowns if you're just writing a letter and then waiting.
Yeah.
So the only sensible things to do in Christina's mind,
Go there.
go there.
Ooh, I was right.
In July 1656.
She's bold.
She took off to the Marseille.
So I'm going to need another loan.
No, not yet.
Oh,
No.
Oh, I was going to say the bold audacity.
So she goes to Marseille.
Visit my friends.
She's accompanied by a French duke and a politician and a cardinal named Mazarin. Mazarin.
Mazarin.
Raz Al
Mazarin.
Ghul. Who?
It's one Z. Mazarin.
Mezzanine.
There were specific instructions for her journey from Marseille to Paris, and that was that she be received with pomp and circumstance in every town on her journey.
Fanfare.
Naturally.
Parties, entertainment,
Party.
whatever the town
have it
could
any
pull
other way.
together.
Christina do what Christina do best.
She party.
She party.
She party.
She party.
The party queen.
Yeah. Queen of parties.
Yep.
Why am I even here?
Well,
to
when
party!
Bingo.
Unz, 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 unz.
It's a very Swedish unz. Nice.
When Christina got to Paris, it was more of the same.
Woo!
Women in French court were fascinated by Christina.
Oh my God!
She said what she wanted when she wanted to. She looked weird.
What did she say?
dressed comfortably. It was all
she
just
dressed comfortably?
It was so fucking strange. Like, this woman wears pants. What the hell?
Hey.
You could
Victoria. Come here.
Yeah. What's up?
Have you seen this girl, Christina?
Yeah.
Okay,
Do you see her ass in those pants? Okay.
No. Her shoes, they're flat.
I know.
Why are
Can
they
you
flat?
imagine how weird her feet look?
She has pants.
Yeah.
Pants. Yeah. Did you hear what she said earlier?
What did she say?
I don't know. What did she say? What did she say? Did you hear what she said? Because I didn't
I got
hear.
no gossip.
Somebody said she said something crazy, but it was like awesome. Like, she wears army pants and flip flops, so I'm gonna wear army pants and flip flops.
Okay, that legit fucking happened at my high school.
Did
and
it really?
I hated
Very 90s.
all of the like fashion trends that they all went
Oh,
through.
for
And it was
sure.
literally like one person would pop up with it, and then 2 months later, everyone was
Yeah.
wearing it.
Somebody had to start it.
Yeah. So she went to a ballet one time, and one of the ladies who accompanied her said this: Christina surprised me very much, applauding the parts which pleased her, taking God to witness, throwing herself back in her chair, crossing her legs, resting them on the arms of her chair, and assuming other
I've done that.
postures, such as I had never seen taken.
I know exactly.
But by Travelin and Jodelet, two famous buffoons, she was in all respects a most extraordinary creature.
Okay, I know exactly. When you say she rested her legs on the arms of her chair, I know exactly. Do you mean like on her own chair? Like Christina did it to her chair? Or
Of
Christina
her
did
own chair, yeah.
Yeah, then I've definitely did. Where she turned sideways and put her
Yeah.
legs up. It was so
I
much
did
more
that last
comfortable.
night. That happens, yeah.
It's so comfortable. Why don't we do that?
At this point in France's history, they are smack in the middle of the longest rule of any sovereign in history, that of Louis XIV.
I do not know him.
Louis XIV.
Ah, the Sun King?
Sure. Yeah.
Who was the Sun King?
Yeah, I think it was him.
Okay.
Louis was a gracious host and welcomed Christina as warmly as the rest of his nation had.
So more parties.
Way more parties.
Excellent. Now, was Marie Antoinette involved?
I think this was before.
So then not the Sun King.
I don't know.
That's fine. I'm
got
sorry.
nothing.
I'm confusing me.
Over the next couple weeks, they worked together to sort out an arrangement for her rule. She would rule the kingdom of Naples and serve as a protector of the nation against Spanish aggression, which they were not a fan of, as that led to death. People die.
Right. Spanish Armada was big during this time.
So the deal was made, and Christina returned to the Papal States. She visited a few towns in the northern area, I believe with every intention of going down to Naples when it was safe to do so. And it wasn't safe at that point because the plague had been spreading rapidly.
Oofda.
So rapidly in Naples that it wiped out half the population in 2 years.
Holy fuck.
Half.
Which plague was this again?
Black Death.
Was it another
It
round
was like
of
a version of the plague.
Okay.
It was smack in the middle of that.
That's fast.
Yeah, it's bad.
You don't have
happens
clean
when you don't
water.
have clean water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's so important. They needed life straws. They just didn't know it yet.
B, why didn't they just have life-saving technology at that point?
That's all they
Life
needed.
straws, that's all
had
they
to-
needed.
They just needed to go on
Duh.
Amazon
Idiots.
and just have it delivered.
Yes.
Fucking idiots.
Prime delivery. You know what? In certain places you can get that 2-hour delivery. Yeah.
Yeah, and 16.
Why couldn't they just do that?
I don't know.
They didn't
Stupid.
want to spend the extra $3.
They weren't Prime members.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding.
She wintered in Passado, most likely to keep away from the sick sickos that were, dying in the streets.
Yeah, she
all
had
that.
the ability to travel and go away.
Bring out your dead.
Bring out your dead. Ding.
So the next summer, I think to escape the plague sweeping the nation through the entire Italian peninsula, she goes back to Paris and she's assigned apartments at the Palace of Fontainebleau.
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 The Fontainebleau.
Fontainebleau.
Blue.
And none of that is spelled the way it's supposed to be pronounced.
Blue, black.
Bleh.
Yeah.
Fontainebleau.
Well, I'm sure it's spelled the way it's supposed to be pronounced when you read French.
Fontainebleau.
But yeah, I have no idea what their phonemes sound like.
So she gets back to Paris. She's got this guy with her from Rome with her called the Master of Horse. His name is Gian Rinaldo Monaldeschi.
All right. Well, you have to have your master of horse with you. Duh.
Yeah, duh.
I want to be the master of horse.
Wouldn't that be cool?
It's the coolest title
I'm
ever.
in charge of all your horses. Today, you're riding Winnie.
Yep.
Jesus.
She's a little gassy today. I'm sorry. But she's really ready to go.
You got to go trot the farts out.
Yeah. Just do a little trot first, and then
You know
you
how
can
it is.
really pick up speed. Then you can kick
you
it
gotta
into
get your
third
morning
gear.
trots out. Get those farts moving.
Yeah, you
Keep
got
that
to
motorboat
move.
running.
Yeah.
Chewy has to do that. He's got to kind of do a couple laps to get those poops moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, gets worse when you're old.
That's what I hear.
If we get Loki to run real fast around the yard, I mean, almost always he poops immediately after.
Oh, gotta go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It moves it all around.
Yeah.
There were rumors that Gian had been one of her lovers as well.
Of course.
Nothing was confirmed.
She was not
but there were
married.
rumors.
Oh, yeah. She could just go do whatever she wants.
He was confirmed as one of her servants, but I don't know for how long he'd been serving her. I would imagine it.
Oh,
had been
he's
at least
serving
a
her
couple
all
years.
right.
Oh, yeah.
He's serving it up good.
Serving real good. So one day, not long after her move to the palace, Christina started noticing some weird behaviors. She started to suspect Gian Rinaldo of betraying her interests.
Well, how so? What were the signs?
I don't know, probably
He got
changed
sketchy.
behavior, was being a little more secretive. So over the next few weeks, she basically murder she wrote his ass, and she spied and snooped and found evidence that he had indeed been attempting to betray her.
Conspired against me.
You have conspired. You have conspired against me.
What's his motive? Oh, good God. You proud of yourself?
Yes.
Yes, he is. Look at that face.
Oh, fuck.
I'm trying to not make Swedish Chef bits this whole time.
I applaud you. You've held on for pretty good. How long?
I've needed 17 more of them than I've gotten. So, different levels of support for
I
different
think he
people.
got jealous of being her secret lover, and he wanted it to be public. And then she
Public
said, "No,
lovers.
you know we can't, because I'm queen bitch, and I'm not gonna marry you either." And he said, "Fine, then I'm gonna do what I want." And then she fucking blacklisted his ass.
Well, once
Interesting theory.
So she found this evidence and she
Game of Thrones.
confronted
Could be.
him with it. She was like, I saw these letters.
What did they say?
And I gave them to this guy. And so you better confess. And he's like,
What did the letters say?
basically it was, I don't know.
He said, "I can't even read."
Basically. Oh, no, I think it was just I don't know, Christina's being such a bitch, or maybe there was
trading
international.
secrets?
Yeah, maybe it had something to do with her planned rulership of Naples. I got
Or
nothing.
maybe it was a plant all along, so she could get rid of him.
Maybe.
Potentially, we don't know.
We do not know.
She took 3 packages of these letters that were supposedly evidence, and she handed them to a priest named Labelle to squirrel away himself. And she waited. She's like, "All right, I'm gonna wait for my chance." So On November 10th, 1657, Christina had Monaldeschi come to her gallery, wanting to discuss the matter. She had a number of servants there, including the priest Labelle. She spoke with Monaldeschi, who insisted that the betrayal of Christina should indeed be punishable by death.
Mm-hmm.
Funny you say that. Because Christina presented him with the evidence, which he tried to pawn off onto other servants and her employee, all of which fell flat. He was like, it was them. No, it was them. It was... Oh, fuck. Damn it. Labelle took his confession eventually, and the priest and the sinner both said they saw no reason why we couldn't handle this like rational adults. No deaths necessary. Just, let's talk it out, you know?
Nah, fuck that. Off with his head.
And that's when Christina's servants started stabbing Gian Rinaldo Monaldeschi in the throat and the chest.
Well, fuck. That just immediately went just...
Fucking snitch.
Yeah, it was whoa.
Now, Monaldeschi, being an official, was wearing chainmail, and the stabs in the chest resulted in nothing more than pissing him off and him bleeding from his neck. So he started running around the gallery with these servants and their daggers chasing him around the room. And all the while, he's still bleeding from his neck, and Christina is screaming as this is happening. Soon enough, the servants caught up with him and got back at the stabbing. In his dying breaths,
Back to the stabbing.
In his dying breaths, he admitted his guilt. He admitted the innocence of those accused, and he admitted he was trying to bring others to ruin. And then they stabbed him in the throat again, and he died.
Okay.
The priest had him buried inside a church. Christina paid for someone to say many masses for his soul at the end. She seemed really, like, aloof about the whole affair. She was like, let's just get this fucking done with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that. One of her politician diplomat friends, Mazarin, came over and was like, Christina, tell me you didn't fucking do this. You didn't do this, right?
She said, I didn't do anything.
It was like your servants. They were fighting amongst themselves. It got out of hand. It was a brawl. It was an accident, right, Christina?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It was a whole fucking fight. You didn't have anything to do with this, right?
What's the police report say?
No, Christina took full responsibility. She's like, nah, man, it was all me.
Oh, okay. I would just be like,
she
no.
was fairly...
I gave the order.
Yep.
What? Come and take me.
The French royalty couldn't have cared less. They visited Christina 2 weeks later, and they didn't say a peep about what, in their country, was a perfectly legal and justifiable execution.
Oh,
sweet.
Okay.
She was legally within her right to do exactly what she just did.
They would have just given him the guillotine.
They're all just like, honestly, I would have done the same thing.
The Roman court, on the other hand, was pissed. It was a cruel act that didn't need to happen, and for a French barbarian to murder an Italian was adding insult to injury.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's that PR.
What?
That's the way that's being told. It sounds like a PR.
She's not even French.
No, but
which is the
guy,
other crazy part. They're like,
the
fucking French, and they're like, no, she's not even French. She's Swedish.
Wait, now I'm confused. So,
the Roman court,
yeah,
who had a part in getting Monaldeschi hired for her anyway.
Yeah,
they were upset because she murdered her servant.
Okay,
for basically
betraying her,
trying to betray her. Yeah.
Okay, but where did the French come in?
They were upset because the French let it happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's a barbarian land with barbarian countries. Duh.
Remember she went to visit because she was like, "Hey, let me be the queen."
And then like the plague came out, and she was like, "No, thanks. I'm gonna go back here." So she went back to Paris to hang out for a while longer.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So after this, the tide of popularity for Christina waned somewhat, just a little bit. She hung out in Fontainebleau for a few more months, but Rome was calling her once again, and she had to answer.
Uh-oh. I don't want to take this.
You must atone for your sins.
For real. But that and Louis's mother was running out of patience with Christina and her sadistic ways. She was like, no, she just had someone killed in my palace, not for it. Do you know how hard blood is to get out of marble flooring? These fucking area rugs took months to make, and the blood stain is all over. Look at that trail, okay? That's gonna take the servants fucking weeks to repile.
Uh-huh. I'm sorry. I was trying to be Christina going, I have no idea.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
I really don't know what to
I
say.
got nothing.
I don't know what you want me to do. It's already done.
Right. Well, she's
So-
like, fine, I'll leave town. Fine.
Yeah, I'll just get out of here and you guys can deal.
Bye, bitch.
Bye.
She goes back to Rome and she realizes she's not quite the popular woman that she once was.
You don't like me anymore?
The new pope is not a fan.
Oh, fuck. There's a new pope. That's right.
Yep. So he doesn't invite her to visit, nor does he leave his summer castle to
like
come
shows-
back to the city.
She shows up at the Vatican like, hello.
And literally, he's at his summer castle and he just
There
stays
was a
there so that he can avoid her. He's like,
There
nah,
was
I'm
a-
not going back.
Okay, I can just use this then if he's not here.
He described her as a woman born of our barbarian, barbarously brought up and living with barbarous thoughts, with a ferocious and almost intolerable pride.
I will agree with the pride part. Yes, I did name myself after Augusta and
then
Alexandria.
the Pope named me Alexandra after himself.
Alexandra, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yes, I'm a little prideful. Okay. And yes, I like to party. It's fun. All right, I get it. You know, it's not for everybody, but barbarous, that's a little far.
That's a little much, okay?
That's far.
A little much.
I don't know if I would say I'm a barbarian.
Remember the politician we were talking about, Mazarin?
A little bit.
The one that was like, hey, you didn't kill this person in cold blood, did you? Did you? Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, he comes back, but he's also from Italy, so he graciously lets her stay at his palace.
Of course.
At his mansion.
Yet another one.
Yes. Naturally. She had a lot of time to think about things, and especially about her life, so she decided it was time to write her autobiography.
It's time for a memoir.
My memoirs.
What should I name it?
She got to writing, and she hung out for a few more months at the Cardinal's palace, and that was nerve-wracking for the Pope because the palace was right next to his summer palace, and he was like, get that murderous wench away from me. I stayed up here so that I could fucking avoid her, and now she's right next door to me.
It's like with the boombox outside.
Get out. Eventually, in 1659, she finally dismissed the servant who had dealt her the murderous blow, Francesco Santinelli. The powers that be, I don't know who they are or how they got shit done, but it happened. Whatever. They moved her into a different palace in a different area, away from the Pope.
This is
They were
your
like,
wing.
we're just going to move you over here because
Yeah.
the Pope doesn't want you right next to him.
Yeah.
He can smell you. You still smell of orgy, okay? You haven't washed the France off you yet. At the new palace, she was given a new set of servants to work for her and settled in, hanging up portraits of her very dear friends, paintings and sculptures, and all manner of art and literature. She kept going with her autobiography. And the issues with the Pope kept going, and he really made her feel unwelcome in Rome, which was weird since she was largely popular with, her friends.
Yeah, with her friends.
Then in 1660, Charles in charge died.
Oh, Charles retired.
In charge of Sweden.
He retired.
He retired from life.
Yeah.
His son was only 5.
Oh.
Christina herself had been a child ruler, and she was worried for the kids, so she returned to Sweden.
Nah.
The reception.
Now she comes back. I wonder
She
how
comes
that
back.
went.
Yep. The reception wasn't quite as warm as she
I
was
didn't
hoping.
think so.
Nah. All she did was come back into the country and the palace, and then told the government of Sweden that she was happy to take back over if the king died, if the child king died. She's like, hey, if this 5-year-old doesn't work out, I can rule again. That's cool.
And everybody gonna be like, and you remember how you were gonna rule Naples and you just left?
But if the kid dies, I have done this before. I know what I'm doing, so I could do that for you.
If the kid dies.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the king already died. But
She's
if
not
his
trying
son
to be
dies,
a regent?
no, she's
Oh.
just like by the way, if that kid happens to die because he's 5 and
Yeah.
kids die all the fucking time, on the good chance
I'll just
that
be over here.
I'll just be over here waiting, waiting in the wings.
Literally in the wings.
Yep.
Poison's 5-year-old.
They laughed at this not just because she'd given it up already, but because she was now a Catholic and all the servants and entourage who had accompanied her were also Catholic.
Ah.
The Protestant court declined to allow them to participate in masses while at Stockholm. They were like, no, you
Yeah.
cannot do Cathol shit
No,
here.
don't do
No.
Catholic shit in my Protestant church.
Dejected, she left to go a short ways to Norrköping, basically like, okay, I'll be right over here if you need me.
Being Catholic.
Just saying. So she stayed there for about a year, and then she just decided to give up. She re-abdicated the throne that she never was given again, and she left again.
I abdicate
my non-throne.
Yeah, I abdicate my name in the cup. I want to take my name out of the cup.
On her way back south, she stayed in Hamburg for a year, and she took the time to visit her banker and his family while in Germany.
How those funds doing?
Basically, yeah. And then she goes back to Rome. She's hanging out.
Hey, Pope!
Yep. Hey, I'm back.
In your face.
She's hanging out. She's writing her letters. Things are getting literally hot and steamy with her Cardinal Azzolino. And for a few years, things are good again.
Oh.
Yeah. They write letters back and forth.
Letters.
They steamy.
He be sexting.
But the fucking Pope, man, he did not like Christina. So because of more complaints and allegations, she tried to go back north to Sweden again. She's like, all right, well, this guy really doesn't like me, so I guess I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Sweden doesn't even let her onto the mainland this time.
Oh.
There's a little pip of land.
Stay on your boat.
So there's a little pip of land on the top of Germany that's called Swedish Pomerania. And the Swedes were like, that's far enough. You just stay over there.
You can stay with the yappy dogs. Enjoy.
It's literally a little blip on like the top. It's like a little hat of Germany. Mm-hmm. And she would have to like cross the sea to get to Sweden mainland. Yeah. They're like, no.
You stay right over there.
Bye. That's close enough. Mm-hmm. So she retreats and she goes back to Hamburg, feeling desolate, and she's kind of upset now because she doesn't really have a home anymore. She's like, well, the old one didn't want me and the new one didn't want me, so
I'm just gonna chill.
Yeah. But then the Pope died.
Oh, again. She survived 2 popes now.
Again, the Pope died.
Happens when
and this
you
is a
hire
happy one now.
70-year-old people to do something.
Our government's great.
I didn't say fucking shit.
Fuck that. Remember how I said to keep a pin in that Squadrone Volante? Mm-hmm. All right, we're back, baby.
Pin
all
time.
Right, so they're coming back. They've been working in the background all this time.
It is time.
It is time. And so this go round, the squad comes out in full force. They're able to place into the papal throne a guy named Giulio Rospigliosi, who is an old
Might as well call him fucking Guido. Jesus Christ.
Giulio, Guilio.
It's Julio.
It's probably Julio.
Fuck, Giulio. Sorry.
Fucking Guido
Giulio.
McItalia.
That's our best guess.
I don't speak Italian, okay? Giulio Rospigliosi, who was an old and dear friend of Christina, and they, this was back in the first days of the Roman occupation by Swedish non-queens. Like, they had been friends way back in the day, back when she and Bernini had just become besties.
Yeah.
She was delighted with this news. She was so fucking happy. And in the very Protestant town of Hamburg, she threw a lavish Catholic party to celebrate.
Oh, wow.
She was like, fuck yeah, we got myself a pope.
All right.
Now she can go back to Rome.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the new pope likes her. The new pope.
The new pope has been friends with...
They go way back.
Yeah, that's
Her
right,
and the
that's
new
right.
Pope.
That's right.
She been knowing this pope.
Okay.
She been done knowing this guy. So she had one of her inside fountains lit up and filled with wine.
Excellent. Wine fountain.
That's a party.
That is an excellent
that's a
party.
fucking rager. I love it. When the shooting started and the locals got inside to try and kidnap Christina, the party ended abruptly.
Oh. Well, yeah, that'll stop a party.
Christina was again put in disguise and she was snuck out the back door where she was able to make her escape.
Excellent. I hope she disguised as a dude again. Comfortable pants.
Yep.
Flat shoes.
She let things calm for a bit, and she didn't really make too much more trouble for Hamburg. She's like, I'm just gonna
kind of quietly
mind my P's and Q's for a little bit. And then in 1668, Christina heard her neighbors might need a new leader. John Casimir abdicated the Polish-Lithuanian throne.
Are they a Catholic nation?
Yes. She was a member of an important house there, and so she was like, why not me? I'm Catholic, I'm unmarried, I'm childless. I'll rule for a bit, and when I die, you can get someone new, just like she was going to do with Naples. Right?
Yep. This plan worked the first time.
And look, even the new pope, even this new guy, he says I'd be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you should do it. But as tempting as that was, Polish-Lithuanian court did not elect Christina to become their queen.
Well, yeah.
Shocking.
She has bankrupted a lot of places.
So she says, fuck it, for the last time, and she returns to Rome.
I'll make my own nation.
Nope, she just goes back to Rome. She's like, I'm just going to be here, and she's there for the rest of her life.
Besties with the Pope.
It was fine for her as Decio Azzolino was in Rome, and she desperately wanted to return to him. They visited together often, and their visits were long. They spent a lot of time together. And in her letters, she'd pour her heart and everything else she had out onto prose and the paper. Though she had the utmost respect for Azzolino and his vows and would never defy God that way, those vows, quote, do not prevent me from loving you until death. And since piety relieves you from being my lover, then I relieve you from being my servant, for I shall live and die as your slave.
Whoa, girl. Don't give them all that power.
What are you talking about? Everybody else. It's like the toxic chick who goes back to the dude that she was abusing the whole time because he's the only one willing to put up with her bullshit.
Yep. But she was quite taken with him.
Yeah, because he's the only one willing to take her back.
Well, she seemed to be quite taken with a lot of the cardinals who all very much enjoyed her company. They all visited her. Mm-hmm. And she was really involved at the church at that time. She did like music stuff with them, and other cardinals would come and because she wrote letters to all of them.
Right.
Over the next few years, things were finally calm. She was good friends with the Pope Clement IX. They shared a love of the theater, and she would often welcome actors and singers to her home to perform during his visits. And when Clement IX got sick, he wanted Christina around at his deathbed.
Oh, shit.
He was like, "You're one
dear
of my,
friend.
One of my dear friends," yes. So he died in 1669. The new Pope, Clement X, was less of a fan. This is
of course. Fourth Pope for her.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it went, liked me, hated me. Loved me, hated me.
He was less of a fan, but he was a little more subtle about his doubts than Pope Alexander had been. In 1671, she created a theater in what was once a jail. She grew the arts program in her palace, and she constantly had people there. And Clement X was concerned about the theater, but he wondering if perhaps it might be bad for Roman morals. Morals. But it stayed open despite his concern being voiced to Christina.
It's just a play.
Literally, it's like, it's just...
Theater's too gay. It's not Catholic. Get it out.
It wasn't all bad for Christina and Clement X, though. She was able to convince him to ban the chasing of Jews during the carnival celebrations.
Jesus.
Which had been a regular thing. They just chased Jews through the streets during carnival.
I forgot that I had heard that was a thing.
Things have been great forever, guys.
Oh, that's horrible.
Forever.
Oh, my God.
When Clement X died, then came Innocent XI.
Innocent
XI was invited to Christina's theater for plays, and he often sat in her box with her for the performances.
All right.
I bet he sat in the box.
So is this the fifth Pope?
I think so.
Yeah.
This is fifth.
All right, so the fifth one liked her. So here we go. No?
Well, the fifth one decided he was like, I'm not going to have any of this theater nonsense.
Oh, that's right.
So a few years after he came into power, he had the theater turned into a storeroom for grain, and he sent out a decree that women were not to be actors or singer, and there better not be any more degenerate, low necklines on these dresses.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Get them necklines up, ladies.
So when does he die?
Turtlenecks.
Yeah, well, fuck you.
Christina was flabbergasted by this lack of respect, especially the betrayal from someone.
I like to see cleavage.
She about to...
But he had already enjoyed...
Who doesn't?
That was what I was going to say. She about to whack the Pope?
No, but she feels betrayed by him. They had gone to the theater together. They were friends. And she,
I've been duped.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. So they were at odds for the rest of her fucking life for his archaic views of women in society.
Yeah, you haven't been the same since you were Pope.
She still lived in a place, though, where she had a theater at her own home.
Oh, yeah.
And
a
so
home theater you don't get rid of.
Women were forever allowed to perform in her theater, and it became a popular spot for countless actors,
Hell yeah.
singers, artists, you name it.
Yeah.
She was older now, and so she was a patron of a bunch of artists, and we kind of talked about this in the Artemisia episode. Rich people buy art, and then they want art from other artists, and their rich friends have art from them, and around and around and around it goes, right? So she just got to be a hub for art. Her collection grew and grew again. She's still working on her autobiography, but now in her 50s, she realized she needed some extra help. She's just like, I'm finally getting old.
Yeah, no, my body ain't what it used to be.
Right, so she brought in a confessor and a doctor to help her out, both temporally and spiritually. In her later years, it's really...
I want to hear her confessions.
Right.
Those would be quite interesting.
Dear Father, I have sinned, and I had to bring in an external confessor because all of the cardinals around me are the ones I've been fucking.
Yeah, they can't
kidding.
know.
I cannot guarantee that. That's speculation.
Dear Father, I banged the last 5 popes.
They liked me or didn't like me, depending on which way they leaned.
Yeah, we all started in the same place, though.
We were all in that room together.
And blast it. She's like, oh, you changed up the curtains in here. Last Pope didn't have purple. I like it.
Love it.
But the first Pope I talked to, he used to have these red chairs right over here. I honestly think it really opens the room up.
So in her later years, it's really just a lot of sticking to her guns. She supported philosophers. She supported the arts. She acted as a diplomat when and where she could.
Diplomacy.
Woo! When Louis XIV repealed the French citizenry of Huguenots, Christina wrote strongly worded letters in objection. It didn't do shit, but she did stand up for it.
Quick question. I don't really know who the Huguenots are.
I don't either.
Okay. So that's for a further
no
episode
answers.
later someday.
We'll get it. We'll get there later.
I'll do a little research. Maybe I'll do it in the description.
In 1686, she wrote a declaration that all the Jews in Rome were now under her protection, the protection of La Regina.
But of course.
The Queen.
In 1689, Christina got sick. It started as a small cold after a visit to temples in another part of Italy. It quickly got bad, and she was read her last rites. She pulled through, but had developed diabetes, and soon enough the rest of her body started to deteriorate.
Ooh.
She quickly developed erysipelas, which is a bacterial infection affecting the skin, but if left untreated, can and will lead to necrotizing fasciitis.
Oh, God, I hate that.
She got pneumonia and a fever. She got pneumonia and a fever and wrote one of her last letters to Pope Innocent, of all people, asking if he could forgive her insults.
Bless me.
She never got the response. And
Ooh, burn in hell.
me. And then she waited forever for that response.
Oh, that's rough.
Sin.
She died on April 19th, 1689. Her request had been to have a simple burial, not much pomp and circumstance. But Innocent couldn't have that, so he had her body dressed up in her finest and most elegant gown.
This bitch is dead, and I refuse to bless her. Party!
He put her nicest shoes on, her nicest dress, her nicest gloves, and her little booties, and her
he
little
hated her.
purse, and whatever, all that shit.
Ding dong, the witch is dead, bro.
Yes. After her body was embalmed, it traveled about 15 miles down to Rome from where she had died. She was given a pope's burial, which is highly unusual for a woman.
What the fuck did I say? Tell me there about this. Give it to me. Keep going.
Dude, I told you. So she was buried in the fashion of 3 coffins, cypress, lead, and oak.
Oh.
She was then led across the river and into St. Peter's Basilica, where her sarcophagus was placed into the Grotta Vaticani.
Down the river Styx.
Christina of Sweden and Italy was one of only 3 women ever to be buried inside this hallowed ground of dusty old dicks. And to a Catholic like Christina, that was the dream.
I mean, that is high praise.
I mean, it is as holy as you could be.
Why?
She had named Azzolino, her cardinal lover, paramour person, as her sole heir.
Remember, the Vigilantes are still in power. They're still, their little organization is still pulling the strings of the Pope.
And she was very beloved by the Volante.
Now, why was she beloved
I call
by
them
them
Vigilantes. Hilarious.
What?
Why was she loved by them again?
Well, okay, for one, her cardinal lover guy was the head of it.
Okay.
And for another, she was just friends with all of them. Like, she'd been friends with them for years. They'd been, 15
all
years
the
of
popes,
friendship.
like they had been cardinals since the first pope.
Yeah.
So like she knew them going way back.
And she was just a pleasant person to be around. So
she
like,
just made
they were
a lot
just good
of friends.
Yeah, she had a lot of
everywhere
friends.
she went.
A lot of people that liked her.
And they just happen to be the ones in power right now.
Yes.
Got it.
In Italy, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, thank
she
you
knew
for
how to
catching me
make
up.
friends. She knew how to
Shadow
make friends.
Society.
Got it.
She had named Azzolino, her cardinal lover guy, as her sole heir, but
Her beneficiary.
sole beneficiary.
Sole beneficiary.
But he was also sick, and perhaps after the loss of Christina, he just gave up himself, and he died in the same year.
Oh, that's so sad.
His nephew inherited everything. All of the art was quickly sold off.
Of course.
Her autobiography was never finished.
Signs.
What?
Every time he looks at the art, he's like, I could sell that.
Yep.
That's
and I could
worth
sell
a
that
lot.
one.
Yeah, that's worth a lot.
Oh, that artist is in right now. I could sell that one.
So hot right now.
Her autobiography was never finished, nor were the myriad essays she had been writing about various historical figures. Eventually, a monument was built in her honor, but it wasn't until almost 15 years after her death that she was truly recognized for her contributions.
I want to read that. I want to read her memoir. Is that saved anywhere?
I don't have any idea. I looked for it, but I couldn't find it.
I want to see that.
That was nuts. I fucking told you. She got buried in the goddamn St. Peter's Basilica.
So she's not like officially a saint, is she?
No, but she might as well be.
Oh, I see.
Saint adjacent.
Yeah, she's saint adjacent. She's hanging out with them.
Can we call this one Christina Saint adjacent?
Oh my God, you know what it is? It's
St. Christina works for me. I mean, it's close enough.
yeah,
Saint
it
adjacent
kind of
Christina.
reminds me of like a much more holy version of like
Saint
being a fraternity sweetheart, where like a sorority girl, the fraternity, it's like you're really good friends with them all, so you're kind of the sweetheart. I don't really know a lot about it.
Yeah, it helps
Goes,
to
hey
be
boys,
in the
and
it
I
helps
go,
to be in
"Who's
the
that?"
protection
And
of
the
them.
guys go, she sucked off all 10 of
So
them.
she's the papal sweetheart.
Well, they also they took their vows very seriously, but I have no idea. There's the one side of me where obviously they all fucking, but then there's the other side of me
not
where I'm
giving
like,
it up.
they had
I'm
vows
not-
that
I
they
will
took
not
very
back down.
seriously. I got nothing.
They
won't
got
do
up
it.
as
I won't
close
back
as
down.
possible.
you won't back down from what?
From my feet, they're all banging.
They all
They're
fucking. Yeah.
I think it's all emotional affairs.
What?
Could be just emotional affairs.
think you're a
Well, I
little
mean, I think by
naive.
this time the
No,
church
I'm
had
not
a
saying I'm
pattern of
naive.
hiding people away, and
I'm just saying.
When
they
crimes
didn't
of
have
passion,
a dark ass history themselves.
That's what I'm saying. When crimes of passion like that occur, there's almost always a romantic element involved. Like there's.
Remember that today.
It doesn't always have to be sex.
Remember that.
Who am I murdering? What?
Nope.
All right.
We'll get into it. That's for the next episode.
It's been a fucking podcast.
All right. You guys can find us online if you want to see our other episodes on our website at wellbehavedwomenpodcast.com. Or you can find us on Instagram at wellbehavedwomenpodcast. You can find us on Reddit at wellbehavedwomenpodcast. You can send us a Gmail at wellbehavedwomenpodcast@gmail.com. We are on Facebook at wellbehavedwomenpodcast. We don't really use Twitter /X.
We're officially past 50 episodes now,
We are.
which is great.
Yes.
doesn't
And then pretty soon it'll be in probably maybe another 10 or 12. It'll be 50 with the three of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we're closing in.
It's nuts.
It's pretty fun.
Fucking
I've had a
doing it.
great year with you.
It's been
I
cool.
have too.
Thank you.
Been an excellent year with you guys. Highlight of my week
Definitely.
doing that. And thank you guys out there for listening.
Patreon and merch incoming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
actually incoming.
But for now, we got another pod to do.
Bye.
Peace.